Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Many people take their skin for granted, abuse it, neglect it, or compromise it. Yet as the largest organ in the body, it acts as a protective barrier between the external environment and internal organs. The skin is stronger than we realize and can heal itself. There's something else about this wonderful organ. Experts say it reveals secrets of what's going on in the body. According to the International Society of Dermatology, over 3,000 skin diseases affect more than 1.8 billion people globally at any given time. Also, over 3 billion people worldwide lack proper access to skin care. Good skin care is purported to reduce or prevent some skin conditions. My guest is Senior Lecturer, Lagos State University College of Medicine, LASUCOM, and Consultant Physician and Dermatologist in LASUS, Dr. Ehiage Anaba. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for
Let me
having
start by asking you what a good skincare routine would look like.
Okay. Now, before we do that, let me say the aim of everybody is to have a healthy skin. And truly, this year, the theme for everyone is healthy skin for all. So what should your good skincare routine be? One, that skin you need to bathe it, so you need to wash it.
Aha!
So you need to...
let me just quickly put in something here before you continue. Our moms, they say you cannot say you are sick until you've had a bath, you've eaten, and you've slept. And I was wondering, what does a bath have to do with how good you feel? But here you are.
Yes, so you have to wash that skin, that's one. You have to moisturize it. So how do you moisturize? Two ways. By what you apply and what you drink, meaning that you need to drink so you can hydrate the skin from inside. So you need to have 3 liters of water in you daily. So that's 6 sachets of water or 4 of those 75 cl bottles. So whether you are drinking tea, coffee, whatever you're drinking, those 3 liters are in there. You need to sleep well, because when you're sleeping, throughout the day, the skin's been in contact with all kinds of things. So when you're sleeping, the skin is recovering from what the weather has done to it. So you need to sleep well, so 6 to 8 hours of sleeping. Then you also need to avoid alcohol and smoking. Those 2 things age the skin. Then very importantly, seek shade, sun avoidance behavior.
Okay.
We think that because we are dark complexioned, we are brown, so the sun doesn't matter. It does matter, because the sun ages your skin. The sun induces some diseases on the skin. It makes some diseases worse, and then it can induce cancer. So in a nutshell, and then also very importantly, fruits and vegetables in your diet, antioxidants. Because throughout the day, your body is metabolizing all kinds of things, making all kinds of metabolites. So with your fruits and vegetables, you get vitamins and all that. Those mop up those metabolites, because those metabolites age the skin and also induce some other diseases. So in a nutshell, bathe that skin.
I'm sure some people
apply a moisturizer.
You to mention only what we rub, but you've gone into so many things.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, do black people need to use sunscreen?
Yes, we do. Emphatically, yes.
But we don't do that, do we?
We don't do that because, first of all, we had the colonial masters who didn't tell us that, and who told us that our skin, because it's brown, the sun is okay for us. No. There's nobody that is black. Black is this chair that you're sitting on.
That's right.
So who is black? Neither is there anybody that is white. White is this white paper. So we have variations in our color shades. We are all born with the same amount of melanocytes. Melanocytes make melanin.
The color.
The color that we have. So we are born with the same amount of melanocytes, we make the same amount of melanin, but the distribution of this melanin and the size differs. So that gives us the color shades that we all have. The fact that you and I are brown does not mean that the sun is for us. No, the sun is radiating UV A, is radiating UVB. Those rays are aging your skin.
I shall have to go and look for some sunscreen. Let's go to something else that, has been on my mind. A lot of people by now know that skin lightening, popularly called bleaching, is not good. But I walk into a store and almost everything for the skin is a whitener, is a lightener, is a colorer, And I had to ask somebody one day, don't you have any normal cream in this place? Why are people doing this, or has something new been discovered? And I hear that they're doing it with their children too.
Nothing new has been discovered. I do not... So in this mentality of if you are light complexioned, it means that you are wealthy. And
you're beautiful.
You are beautiful. So we had the song Omo Pupa or
yes,
Omo Mupa thing. That's where we are. So the people have arrived at light complexion makes you beautiful. And our movie industry is not helping matters. So you are light complexion, you have lead role, you are portrayed in a special way. So that's not helping matters. That gives out the idea that I need to be light complexion. Guess what? My daughter, she travels a lot. She was somewhere giving in Ethiopia. After the meeting, she was the lead person for the meeting. Somebody calls her aside. She's brown like me. Say, you're very intelligent and you're moving around. You need to make yourself lighter.
Oh, really?
Imagine that. So as far as that person was concerned, in this your business of
you've not packaged yourself
completely. So of course, the makers of these creams, they are here to make money. We have told them we no longer want moisturizers, we want something to lighten our skin. So their moisturizing business is going south. So they've moved on to providing the bleaching range. So even when you go to, I can't name brands. So when you go to our normal brands even, they have their moisturizing range, they have their lightening range.
Yeah.
So when you say, I'm buying Anabar cream, you always knew that Anabar cream was for moisturizing. So the unsuspecting public may say, I'm buying Anabar cream, but you've inadvertently bought the part of the Anabar cream that is for
lighten you.
So
skin. We have to be very wise about what we choose.
So once you pick up anything to cream yourself, once it says lightening, toning, fairing, maintaining complexion, glowing, popping, just know you've moved away from a simple moisturizer. And it's a moisturizer that you need. Once your skin is well hydrated from inside and well moisturized from outside, that skin will look good.
You were telling me earlier about lotions, difference between lotions, creams, and then greasy stuff like petroleum jelly. It took me by surprise. I hadn't heard such a thing before. And how do we use them?
Okay, so when we look at, as a dermatologist, when the public says cream, they are thinking we are discussing something to lighten your skin. So please no. Now we are discussing consistency, not brand, please. So if we look at the things we put on our skin, we have things like petroleum jelly, shea butter. That's the thick end of it. Then we have things like lotions, which is a bit fluid. Now, lotions are made that way because they contain like 60 to 70% water, so it's fluid and very little oil. Then in between that extreme of the jelly and that very oily one and the lotion, you have cream. We are discussing consistency. So cream is not as oily as the other end of the jelly, neither is it fluid like you have the lotion. Now, the idea is that somebody who already has an oily skin would use a lotion. The water will evaporate and leave you with only a thin film of oil, so you do not feel uncomfortable, you are not feeling too oiled. But the person who has a dry skin has no business with a lotion. You need something that is creamy or something that is like shea butter or jelly consistency. Because if you go and use a lotion, your skin will just be drier. Like we see ourselves during the dry season. You say, oh, I applied the lotion, you just look white. That's because you've applied something wrong. And when you have an oily skin, you have no business really with shea butter, jelly consistency, and the cream consistency.
Okay, so let's move on to something a bit different. What systemic diseases can you tell a person has from looking at the skin?
Okay, now the skin, for a dermatologist, that's a doctor who's been trained in skin diseases. So the skin is your hair, your nails, your skin as you know it, and some of your mucous membranes, so around the mouth, around the vagina, inside, and the eye.
All that is skin?
Yes, that's the skin. So any disease to do with that is the dermatologist. And now, from what I've described, you can see that the skin wraps you from head to toe.
Oh, yes.
So we can know for sure when you have something wrong inside. So now you have, the skin is looking reddish, so there's a problem, there's an inflammatory disease going on. The skin looks yellow, I know that you've got a liver disease. There are some growths you have, I know that your cholesterol is high. Okay, then there are some things that just happen on your skin and we know immediately there's something not right with this person. You have some half and half nails, I know that you've got a kidney disease. You look pale and I know that blood level is low. So from your skin, like I said to my patients, you sit down and I know immediately what you've been applying on that skin. And I'm telling you, you're looking at it, I say, yeah, because your skin is speaking. So you're losing hair. We can talk about some diseases, hormonal diseases. You have a lot of acne, like an older person, you're in your 20s, early 30s, suddenly acne all over the place. We have to look at, do you have what we call polycystic ovarian disease? You are suddenly growing unwanted hair. We need to check that because that means there's a hormonal problem.
Imbalance.
So really your skin does speak. It tells us what is going on.
Wow. This year there's, the World Skin Day is celebrated in July, and they're talking so much about skin health access, saying that it's not enough. What is skin health access like in Nigeria?
Okay, so World Skin Health Day is every year, and we've always celebrated that. So it's a global initiative to create awareness about the skin. We talk about, oh, the kidney failed, the heart failed. The skin does fail. And yes, the human skin does fail. And when your skin fails, that's trouble for everybody.
Skin fails?
Yes, the skin fails. You can have skin failure. And that's trouble for everybody. Now, when we talk about access to skin, so we are discussing access to the dermatologist. We are discussing access to having your skin diseases sorted out. Truly, globally, there are not enough doctors. So it's not just with dermatology or the skin now. There are not enough doctors. So really, how do people get access to the specialists? So we, on our own, over the years, we've tried to give talks to non-dermatologists so that we can say, when you see this, this is what you can do. When you see this, send this person to the dermatologist. And we recognize that in our rural areas, those people are not going to have this access that we're talking about.
That's correct.
They don't even have access to the GPs yet, not talk of having access to the dermatologist. So that's what we're talking about.
Let's take a quick break. We're going on a short break. Wait for us on the other side. Welcome back. We're talking about the importance of taking care of the skin, and we are here with Dr. Anaba. You can call for questions you have on the skin. Call 0808-054-2233 or send a message on X at CTV_Mary A while the program goes on. Is there really something you can do, a skin routine? Because people keep boasting about this thing. Let's know once and for all. That keeps you looking youthful and removes your eye bags and takes care of your wrinkles.
You can delay those things, but not take them, because those are actually parts of natural aging. So if you have a well-hydrated skin, you have skin that is protected from the sun. You've done your sun avoidance behavior. You have skin that is well moisturized and skin that is well nourished. And skin that you exercise, because exercise is good for you. You're not smoking, no alcohol. So you're actually not doing things that will age the natural process. Then you can delay those things happening. But that you will never get wrinkles, that's not true.
Okay. Let me ask you, albinos have peculiar skin.
Yes.
They're a bit different from everybody else. What extra thing do they need to do? Because some of them get these funny looking blemishes and you're wondering, can't they be protected?
Those are not blemishes actually. Those are diseases because of the sun.
Okay.
So now the person who is living with albinism, they don't call them albinos anymore.
Living with albinism.
Yes. So the problem there is that they are not making this melanin.
Okay.
So
they don't have protection.
So they don't have protection. So all our people that are deliberately taking off their own melanin, just know that you have the same things that these people have. So they do not have that melanin to protect them from the effect of the sun. So what they need to do is that sun avoidance behavior, and that's what we teach them.
Okay.
A wide brim hat, so those kind of hats you use for the beach, not face cap.
Okay.
So that covers both the face and the neck and your upper shoulder.
Yeah.
Then they wear long sleeve things, not black body things, so I don't have a black body effect. So light things that reflect light, so they have that. And then they can wear sunshades, because you were talking about wrinkles. So sunshades.
Okay.
To protect the eyes, because when you're in the sun, you squint like this, you're going to have that. So sunshades, okay? Then we talk about umbrellas. So the use of umbrellas, stay in the shade. You don't need to be in the sun if you don't have to be there. If you have to be in the sun, don't stay for too long.
And sunblock,
then sunscreen.
Sunscreen,
very
sunscreen,
vital.
sunblock, are they the same?
They are the same, just interchangeable.
You were saying something about pimples just before we came on, really interesting, that pimples can be treated.
Definitely.
Talk to us.
Pimples can be treated. So now when we talk about pimples, first, most people who have pimples are teenagers. So it's like a rite of passage for the teenager. They come into their puberty, they have a hormonal upsurge, then voila, pimples come. And typically starts when they're like 10, 12. By the time they get to 16, 17, it's worse. Because you also recognize that that's when the shape is changing, the voice is, everything is changing, so it gets worse. So from that teenager who had that tiny, just white heads, you suddenly have some rocks and all that, they feel uncomfortable. For most teenagers, by the time they're 20, 21, they are done.
Everything is gone, okay.
But for some individuals, it's done, but...
Let me just pause you there. I believe we're getting a call. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Yemi.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your question?
The health matter. Hello?
Go on, we can hear you.
Okay, I noticed there were some black patches around my eyes. So I don't know, I was just wondering, around my face, around the eyes. I was just wondering what the issue is.
We've got the gist of it, Yemi. Black patches around the eyes.
So when he says patch,
like a black face.
A patch for me is just an area of discoloration, which is different from a growth.
Okay.
So I don't know what he means by patch, but whatever it is, he needs to go see the dermatologist who will have a look at it and say, do you need treatment for this or you don't? Because there are some things that will come when you are getting older. So when people say, oh, I have skin tags on the face, I have this, those are all coming on.
Skin
from
tags.
aging.
They're just extra little pieces that come out.
Yeah, you can see some on my face.
Why?
Why? One, you're aging. I'm sure you don't see them in your kids.
Okay, yeah.
So you suddenly can't tell me you're 16. I'm going to say, oh, something.
Okay.
So age, the fact that you're female. So females get them more than males because of also a hormonal impact. So you also notice that when you're pregnant, you have more. And some grow bigger. Then when you've had the baby, some fall off. Then some just remain. Then also the fact our race, we're dark.
Darker people have more.
Yes, we have more than the Caucasians. And the fact that of the sun. Remember we talked about the sun. So we need
Exposure
to. So
to
that's
that
one
sun.
of those things that being in the sun actually makes it worse.
Okay, but back to Yemi's question.
So back to him. He needs to see the dermatologist. And remember, the dermatologist is a doctor that is trained in skin diseases. Not the people parading themselves as skin specialists. That's a different business altogether.
Okay. I believe we're getting another call. Hello, Wilson? Are you there, Wilson? Okay, I think we've lost Wilson. He can try and call back.
Well, we're talking about pimples.
Okay, so, Wilson is online.
Okay.
What's your question, Wilson?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. What's the cause of when someone took a bath with sponge and having itches in his body?
Okay. There's something called aquagenic pruritus that's actually itching from water being on your skin. Okay. So I'm sure you notice that the minute you dry your body, after 10-15 minutes, that itching has stopped.
Okay.
So typically, you will come to the hospital, we will check for something. Sometimes when your blood level is too high, that can happen. So we just check for that, and if that's not a problem, we say, okay, so let's do something else. So like he says, from sponging. So for some people, the sponge is the problem. So we say do away with sponging. For some people, it can be varying the temperature of the water. For some other people, we just say don't stay too long in the bath. Just in, out.
And out.
Dry the skin.
Let's wrap up the pimple thing in 1 minute.
So the pimple thing, just know that pimples is medically referred to as acne.
Okay.
And then when we talk about acne, you have different severities. So you can have somebody who has just white heads, or somebody who has white heads and black heads. Then you can have somebody who has those red ones and those ones that are filled with pus, or you can have those ones who have like nodules. So those are all different severities of pimples.
And it's not superfluous to go to the doctor for
No. So you should go to the doctor and get treated. Otherwise, you'll be left with scarring. And it's difficult to get rid of those scars. And remember, because you've gone to the doctor, I told you there are different severities. So the way to treat those different severities is a little bit different.
All right, then. The director tells me we've used our time.
Oh, really?
So we've got to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been so much education, I'm sure, for everybody all around. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being there on the other side of your TV, your laptop, or whatever it is you're watching us on. Thank you for your calls. Have a nice day. I'm Mary Alale Yusuf.